In this problem, it is given that the sum and the product of three numbers, and these three numbers are in AP. The sum is -3 and the product is 8. Now, using this fact, we have to find out the numbers. So let's begin. So first, what we'll do, we'll consider the first term. So we'll consider that the first term, let it be represented by the letter A in lowercase, and the common difference is represented by the letter D in lowercase. So we will consider the three numbers. Let the three numbers be, we'll consider A minus D, A and A plus D, such that they are in AP. That means they are in arithmetic progression. Now there's a reason why I have chosen the three numbers in this particular fashion. So instead of starting with A, we could have started with A as the first term, and the second term will be simply add a common difference to it. Then when we add another common difference to it, we'll get the third term. But instead of this, what we are doing, we are not choosing A as the first term, but in our case we are choosing A here as the second term. Although I'm representing here that this is the first term, so this is the first term by definition. So what we're doing, we're taking the term that's preceding the first term, so A minus D. That's because when we take the sum, of these three numbers, because it's given here that the sum is -3. Now when we take the sum of the three numbers, so if we take A minus D added to the second term, that's A plus D, then in that case we'll see that the common difference get easily cancelled out, and this is going to help us quickly obtain the value of our first term. So that means we have A plus A, that's 3A equals to -3, and A value is -1. So we've immediately found out the value of our first term. Now we will use this to obtain the common difference. We'll use the second case. It's given here that A minus D, the product, times A plus D. This product is equals to 8. Now we have A multiplied to A minus D times A plus D, so that's an identity, A squared minus D squared. So this will be equals to 8. So we've already obtained the value for A, which is -1. So -1 multiplied to A squared will be 1 minus D squared, which is equals to 8. Or let's solve for, so we have -1 plus D squared equals to 8. We have D squared equals to, we'll transpose -1 to the right hand side to get 9, which gives us D plus or minus 3. So that means we could have D either +3 or -3. So now that we have the value of A and D, so let's begin. So our first case, let's consider the first case where our first term is -1 and our D value is given by +3. In that case, A minus D, that will be equals to -1 minus 3, which is -4. Then A will be, which is the second term, that becomes simply -1, and A plus D, this will be equals to -1 plus 3, which is equals to +2. So we say that -4, -1, -2, these are the three numbers that are going to be in arithmetic progression, and whose sum is given by -3, and the product will be +8. Now we'll go to the second case. In our second case, we'll have A value as -1 and our D value that will take as -3. In that case, A minus D will be -1 minus of -3. So this is simply 3 minus 1, which is +2. Then A will be equals to -1, and A plus D, that will be equals to -1 minus 3 or -4. So in this case, we will say that +2, -1 and -4. So these are the three numbers that are in AP, whose sum is -3 and the product is -8.